Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys are all having a lovely day out there. I just finished a bowl of 5 Atolfo mangoes that were really good, so I'm kind of in a really happy place right now myself. And the sun's back out after a gray, rainy week, so yeah, life's pretty good here in South Alabama. Today we're going to talk about a raw food diet and calorie restriction. Why? Why would you? Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you go down and hit that subscribe button. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. And go over and find me on Instagram if you're not already following me over there. It's Raw Tropical Living, or you can find me by my name, same one here. I've been getting back into going live a little bit lately, and it feels good. And I kind of enjoy that way of sharing over. I like sharing here too, but it's a different type of sharing on Instagram. It's more in real time, and I'm sharing things throughout the day, every day. But anyhow, calorie restriction, that just seems to be a big problem with people, and I understand where it comes from. It's a mentality. It's that old diet mentality that most everybody has had. I mean, there's very few of us out there that have not dabbled with a diet at some point in our lives or have not dieted. And for a lot of people, most people have probably tried 5, 10, and about 20 different ones that have all been the latest, greatest thing. But that's the thing about diets. They're always about calorie restriction. And yes, you can, if you need to lose weight, you can lose weight on restricting your calories, but it's not a sustainable way of doing it, and it's a really bad habit to get into. It's a really bad habit to get into. And one of the biggest reasons I think it's a bad habit to get into, especially, well, in general anyway, you shouldn't restrict anyway, but if you are doing the raw thing and even the vegan thing, it's you're just simply, if you're restricting your food, that's less chance that you're getting the nutrients you need. The best way to get, some people run around thinking, oh, did I eat enough of this, did I eat enough of that? I go back to T. Colin Campbell's book Whole, and I just remember something he says in there. He doesn't worry about exactly how many, just eat as much food as you need. Eat until you're full. Eat what your body needs. And the more we're actually eating and the more variety we're eating, the better chance that we're taking in everything that we need to take in. The restrictions it's just horrible on the body. Especially long term. Well, even in the short term, it can slow down the metabolism, and it can even lead to metabolic damage. Now, even though I restricted a fair amount when I first got into this lifestyle, fortunately, I didn't have any metabolic damage from it. And when I say that I restricted when I first started this lifestyle, let me explain that a little bit. I kind of restricted, I wasn't trying to restrict. I just kind of didn't know what I was doing, and I was eating less and less, but my stomach was shrinking and I was getting satisfied. So I just didn't know any better. But then as I started wasting away, and after the first 3 months, I was just ridiculously crackhead skinny. I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Then I started really looking into this thing, and I fairly quickly, within the first year of this lifestyle, I figured out, no, you've got to eat food. And that's the beauty of this lifestyle. That's the thing that's kept me doing this the whole time that I've been doing it, is that I can pretty much eat as much as I want. Now, I know there'll be somebody out there who says, well, no, you can't eat unrestricted. Well, I can, because my appetite will not let me eat so much that I'm going to get in trouble. And especially, and what have I said before, the cleaner you eat, the more you can eat. I'm telling you, if you're eating clean, if you're eating clean, if you're not eating a ton of fat, if you're not eating a ton of processed, it's sometimes hard to get in enough calories that you need. I'm sure you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about that all the time, about how it's hard to get in, all of the food that I need to eat. And that's because whether it's cooked or whether it's raw, I'm eating clean. And so I don't have to think about that. And that's freedom. That's freedom, because I was always a bigger guy. I was always, after I was fat as a kid. Yeah, fat. We didn't use these euphemisms back then. I was fat. I was a fat kid. No big bone, no none of that shit. I was a fat kid. Got a little bit older. I dropped that weight probably about the 7th or 8th grade. I dropped that weight, but I was big up until, geez, I was a big guy up until I was about, you know, 25, 27, 28. And then, like everybody else, throughout the years, I'd gained that 20 pounds. I'd need to take that 20 pounds off. And always what I would do is restrict. And then I found this. And I start dabbling with this, and I keep eating, and I go a year, I go 2 years. I'm like, wait a minute. I can basically eat all I want. I don't have to think. I don't ever have to, since I've started doing this lifestyle, I don't ever get hungry and think, oh no, I better not eat. Now I get lazy sometimes. I get hungry sometimes and I'm just too lazy to go make some food, but I never restrict myself, and it's a beautiful thing. But you've really got to, I think it's so important. It is more important on the raw. I mean, it's important on the vegan, just a plant-based diet in general, but on the raw, I think it's uber important that you don't restrict your calories, and very important that you get a variety. There's little things we've got to do. I mean, you know, my mentality's changed a lot on this lifestyle, and I would call it a little bit maturing as a vegan, maturing as a raw vegan. I mean, you could go back and you might say I'd contradict myself if you went back and looked at some old videos of mine, you know, from 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I'd say, no, I'm not contradicting myself. I've just learned things about my body. I've evolved as I've gone, and I've, you know, like I say, this has been a human science experiment for the last 8 years. I do this, I see how I feel, I see how it works for me for a while, I process that, and I move on. And yeah, just the freedom not to have to think about calories, not to have to count calories. Except, like I say, I have to kind of remotely be aware of calories. So I am sort of semi-counting, or I'm at least knowing how much volume of food I have to take in just so that I don't lose weight, so that I do maintain where I am. But I'm working on changing some of my habits now, that I'm hoping that I can even get a little bit more honed in on that. I'm trying to extend the times through the day that I'm eating, which will allow me to get more of the nutrients in. Listen, sometimes I don't want to ever like lie to you guys or pretend or anything. You know, sometimes I do videos like this. They just come out of my thoughts about things I want to work on and improve about myself. So, you know, I'm not working on calorie restriction, but I'm working on really nutrition. That's what it all comes down to for me. That's all it's ever about. Raw, cooked, whatever, this, that, the other. I was laying in bed last night and just thinking about how all this different stuff comes together. And for me, I was just thinking, like, you know, I'm 56. I don't have health insurance. I don't have a ton of money. So I want to even double down. I kind of was thinking this, like, I remember having this moment last night. I almost got up and wrote some stuff, but I was thinking, like, I really want to hone in on my health. I really want to focus without being obsessive. I mean, I'm not going to be weighing things and, oh God, I've got a tablespoon of this. But I really want to focus in this last half of the year on my nutrition and getting all the things that I need to get in my body. And like I say, instead of focusing on, okay, I need to eat 2 of these today, I need to eat a little bit of this, I just want to kind of have that mentality of eating a variety of as much good food as I want all the time. You know, and restricting that fat. I'm going to say that too, even though this is about calorie restriction. Don't be so afraid about that fat. I don't really do the the Facebook group thing anymore, but that was one thing, that's one particular problem that I always saw in all the Facebook groups that I was in, or any conversations that I was in with raw vegans. There was this mentality amongst a fair percentage of people just to restrict fat. Some people didn't add any overt fat. They were, you know, this whole like, oh, there's fat in oranges, man. There's fat in bananas, man. There's fat in a carrot. There's fat in everything. I'm like, yeah, get the, you know what, out of here. It's like, we need some actual overt fat. Or, okay, I shouldn't speak for anybody else. I need some overt fat. So it's not going to hurt you to eat avocado. It's not going to hurt you to eat some coconut. But conversely, don't take that as you can just eat whatever fat you want because it's the good fat. That's kind of a trap that people get into sometimes too. But yeah, listen, you're just not enjoying the beauty of this lifestyle if you're out there counting calories and restricting what you eat on here. And I'll leave you with this. And different strokes for different folks, and I don't know the chemistry of everybody's body, but if you are restricting your food as you're listening to me right now on a raw food diet, rethink that stuff. Just clean it up a little bit, and then you can eat more food. You eat more food, you stay satiated, and there's a better chance that you'll be doing this lifestyle in 5 years. Anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you this weekend. Peace.